Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good middle of the night, depending on where you are. Thank you for joining us. Let's give everyone a minute or so to get in and get settled. Just so you're aware, Adam mentioned this looks like I had a smudge of peanut butter and jelly sandwich on my chin. No, unfortunately, I cut myself shaving this morning. So watch yourself. You got to be careful with sharp objects. That kind of thing happens occasionally.
I just like to give Curtis a hard time.
Somebody has to. Somebody has to keep me in line. So I appreciate that it can be you, Adam.
Yeah.
So while we're giving everyone a minute, I am going to make a couple adjustments on my settings so that my mouse pointer is easier to see for when I'm sharing screen.
Welcome to the call, Mark and Karen. Welcome, Keith, Derek. Good to see you on the call. Man, Derek, you've been on a lot of calls recently.
So I just want to remind everybody that this call is for you, right? We do these calls to make sure that you have the support and help that you need to succeed in your both your wellness journey with Oliabo and in the business opportunity that Oliabo provides. So it's all about you and us taking care of your needs. So if you have questions, which I hope you do, there's a specific place within Zoom where it's like a Q&A section. And if you put your questions there, it's a lot easier for us to see those questions and be able to sort through them so that we can answer your questions. So please utilize that. The other thing that I would say before we dive in, two things. So for the last couple of weeks, we've been doing a daily Oliabo Studio training, except for Wednesdays. So we will continue that today and tomorrow. We will do the 2 p.m. Oliabo Studio training. And then starting next week, we will move to a regular weekly cadence that will be on Thursday at 2 p.m. each week moving forward. Of course, if you've got questions in between now and then, or in between now and tomorrow, always reach out to support. I'll show you the easiest ways to reach out to support right within Studio via email, phone, or chat. We're here for you. So please definitely take advantage of that. We'd love to hear from you, whether it's a need you have, a challenge you have, a question, or just a shout out to say hello. We want to hear from you. The other thing that I would suggest that will, I think, help this be as productive as possible for you within learning Oliabo Studio would be to log in to Oliabo Studio right now on the website. And if you don't have the mobile app downloaded yet, go to the app store of your choice on your mobile device right now, search for Oliabo Studio, Oliabo space Studio, download the app right now. So that way, if you're logged in, which I'll show you how to do, if you're logged in on your computer and you've got the mobile app there, then you can kind of walk through what we're doing as we're walking through it and get hands-on experience right then and there along with us, which then might bring up questions that you can ask or just help you better understand and connect with the content we're going through right now and what we're talking about. So let's jump into it. So I will share my screen here and I'm going to jump in to start sharing some things. By all means, ask questions. I'm going to probably not review as in depth on some things that we've gone over a lot over the last week or so. So I'll breeze over certain things. If you see something, you're like, wait, I want to understand that a little bit better, or, oh, you didn't talk about something I had a question on, ask a question and I'll make sure that we can get you taken care of. And every once in a while, I'll be looking over at the questions that are coming in. So every once in a while, you'll see me kind of pause and look there. So let's get going. Okay, can you see my screen okay? Excellent.
Looks
Okay, so
good.
this is the Oliabo website, oliabo.com. The easiest way to get access to the Oliabo Studio, your account, is to just go to the website, oliabo.com, and then here in the upper right corner, this little head and shoulders icon, that's your account login icon. This is where customers log into their accounts and where you can log into your Oliabo Studio account as well as a brand rep. So the way that you do that is that you click here, and I'm going to open a new window here so that I can keep this one open. You then enter your email address here, and if you do this once and then don't log out again, it'll keep you logged in. As long as you're in a regular window, it will keep you logged in on your browser for I think several months actually. So log in once and you don't have to really think about it again. But this new login method, I'll show you here. So I'm going to log into my test account that has some data and other information we can review. So you submit your email address for your account. It then will send you an email. So then go open your email. It'll send you a login passcode. You can either copy that passcode or you can write it down. And then you come back to your, I just have my email open on another screen over to the side. So I went over there, I've grabbed that passcode. You can either paste it in here or type it in. And then when you click verify email, that now is a super secure way to authenticate that this is actually you and allowing you into your account. So there's a few different reasons why we're doing that method instead of a password, and why you're probably seeing that same method being applied to a lot of the different systems and accounts that you're starting to log into and access these days. This has become the new standard of security when logging into online accounts and online access. And the reason for that is that it's just as we've seen, as the online world becomes more integrated into everything that we do, there's more and more people that are out there trying to do nefarious things to get into our online world. And so this is a much more secure way of handling things that also facilitates our ability to partner with different payment providers like PayPal, Apple Pay. We're working on Klarna. All of those different payment providers provide a much easier way for a variety of customers, brand reps, yourselves to check out through the shopping experience, through the website, through the mobile app, through Oliabo Studio. And all of that leads to increased sales and easier, better user experience for all of us, which just makes life better. But the only way that we can get those kind of partnerships is by having a much more secure, stable system. That not that the old one wasn't, but this is just a new level of security standard that we've stepped into. So once you're logged in here, this is your Oliabo Studio. We call this on your computer, whether it's your desktop computer or a laptop, we call this Oliabo Studio Portal. That's what we call this. And then you've got the Oliabo Studio mobile app. So I would suggest logging into Oliabo Studio just the way that I did just now. Try that out. And then also get the app and open that up because we're going to go over the app as well. Again, you come here, click on the, so go to the website, oliabo.com, click on the account login there, and then log in. Another little tidbit that I would always recommend, in your browser, whether you're using Chrome or Safari or Microsoft Edge, whatever browser you use, it will have some ability for you to add bookmarks, a bookmark toolbar. So this is my bookmark toolbar. I always have that displaying because what I do is I save any of the websites or the places that I go all the time. I organize by putting them in my toolbar or by putting them into a folder on my toolbar. That makes it really easy for me to always keep track of all the things that I need to use, whether that's news websites that I go to, or if it's Oliabo related stuff. I keep that all really organized because then I don't need to remember any of this stuff. My web browser just remembers it for me. So the way that you do that is you just, when you go to a URL, this little icon right here, you can just grab that, you click on it, and you can drag it and then drop it. And now you see how it popped up there. Now it's saved. And if I close this browser and then I open the browser up again, it'll be saved right here. And then I can just click on that and it'll take me right back to Oliabo Studio. And if I stay logged in, it logs me in automatically. If I'm logged out, it'll take me to the login, and then I can log back in and have easy access. So I would suggest learning how to use bookmarks or using bookmarks if you already do. It's a really easy way to keep things organized. And I just realized, like, the less that I have to remember up here in my own head, the easier life is in general. So I use those different tools as much as possible. But Do what works for you. So a few things to highlight here on Oliabo Studio. This is your home page, right? So we're on the home page. The home page has a few different features. One of those things to just highlight real quick, at the bottom of the home page are all the different ways you can reach out to us at support. Here's our phone hours, our email address, a chat, so you can chat to us. We're here to support you and to help your success in any way that we can. So please reach out to us. The mobile app, same way. When you first log into the mobile app, if you scroll all the way down on that first page, it has these same options right there for you. So please reach out. Oliabo Studio can work to support the way that you work. If that's something that's really simple, it can help that. If it's something that you want to do more in depth, it can help facilitate that. It can help in-person interactions and building your business. It can help with your social media efforts if you want to do that. It really facilitates all sorts of different ways for you to do your magic. So I'll take it from kind of the simplest way that you can use it to more in-depth and other ways that you can do it. So in its simplest form, if you just want to like you could literally do this. If you have a prospect and they're not really wanting to get online, or they don't have time to, or they just maybe they don't have a computer, or they're just not very technically inclined and they don't want to deal with all that, but you've shared the product with them, they want to buy the product, they want to be involved. It could be as simple as this. If you go to My Business, this is the second link down here on the menu, it'll load and show you right here, this is your ID number. It could be as simple as this. You could give that person your ID number. You could then give them our phone number. They can then call into support, tell them that you sent them, let us know what they want to purchase. We can then help them create that account, get them all set up, get that order in, get it shipped out to them. It can be that simple, right? And because we have their ID, your ID number, because they've given us your ID number, we connect them to you. So it can be that simple. Other simple ways that you can share, right here on the homepage, you've got your My Oliabo site link. This, if you copy any of the links that you can copy and share on the homepage, in the shareable section that we'll get into, all of them are coded to you. So when you share them with someone, that person that clicks on that link will be connected to you. So for example, if I just wanted to share the website, this is like my replicated site link is a term that we use sometimes. I would copy this or have them scan this QR code if they're here with me, or I could email the link to them by clicking this, or I could click this and it will launch a different type of share options based upon my computer system, whether that's an Apple computer or a PC. It'll give you different options on how you can share. Or you can just simply copy this URL by clicking this little button here. Now you can test this yourself by just pasting it into a browser and seeing what it does. But when I share this if I share this over a text message or send it in an email or I post it on social media, this is the interaction that people who click on that link will have. This is the replicated site link. It takes them to oliabo.com, and it's got a little banner up here that shows your name. It also shows that your name is here, right? The shopping cart powered by Oliabo and you. This is just showing my test account name. I should probably come up with something a little more creative than that. But so that's how you know that now that person is now connected to you. So if they leave the website, they close their browser, they come back a day later, a week later, 2 months later, if they haven't deleted their browser history or clicked on another brand reps link, they will still be connected to you. So when they come back and they shop, they'll still be connected to you. So we call that attribution. So we've worked really hard to make sure that all the different links that you can share, that you can get from Oliabo Studio, connect people to you. So whether they make a purchase now or weeks or months from now, they're connected to you. The only thing that breaks that is if they clear out their browser history, if they use a totally different computer or a different browser that doesn't have that connectivity, or if they use a link from another brand rep. Ultimately, when doing this kind of a business, this type of business model, it's a relationship kind of a situation, right? So somebody that perhaps somebody that I've been talking to about Oliabo, Maybe that person doesn't really engage with what I'm talking about, but that person later, they know Adam, and Adam talks to them about Oliabo, and maybe they're more connected with the way that Adam presents that, or their neighbors or friends or connections from the past. And so maybe they choose to engage and interact and sign up and buy as a result of Adam's interaction. So whichever link they use is where they'll get connected to. So as long as you're sharing your link with them and building that relationship, they will be connected to you. So
So,
that's the
Curtis,
simple, yeah.
real quick, while we're on the topic of getting people that are going to be associated to you through links and whatnot, I know we have somebody on the line who asked the question of, is the website the only place that I can go send somebody to sign up? So I know you're going to have to pull up your mobile web for this, but while we're on the topic of signing somebody up, will you show a shareable cart and how somebody could use that?
Yeah, I'll do that really quick. So that is something you would do. So what Adam's touching on is called a shareable cart. So this is one of the powers of the mobile app. So this is an important reason why you want to, if this is something that you would want to use. Let me show you one other thing, because I want to go from simple to more complex, right? So again, that's simply sharing your replicated site link. If you want to simply share a brand rep enroll link, you would share this link. This link will then drop them directly onto the join page of the website. This join page tells them about the business opportunity, tells them about the compensation plan, and they can then click through and choose to enroll and join the as a brand rep that way. So those are the simple ways of getting people onboarded. I'll show what you're talking about, Adam, because that's part of sharing the opportunity or sharing a product. I'll share that right now let me stop sharing here. Let me get into sharing the mobile app. Screen mirroring it, so it takes a second to connect here. So within the mobile app, this is the home page of the mobile app. A couple things to note here about navigating the mobile app. You've got this bottom row of navigation. This is the home section, the shareables section, contacts, shopping. So this is the shop. Up at the top of each of these sections, there's this tab bar that has different tabs that you can go to within each section to manage your orders, resources, and content for education, tutorials. My business shows you reports in all sorts of detail that way. So what Adam's talking about is a way that you can create a shopping cart that you can then share directly with somebody through a link. And when they click that link, it will then take them directly into that shopping cart. So it's an easy checkout. So I'll get into this more as I get more into the shareable content. So shareable content is the videos and the links and the different kind of content that you can send to somebody with a link that then allows them to learn more about Oliabo, about products, about the opportunity, and then they can come into the Oliabo world through a bunch of different means that way. And when you're sharing Oliabo, you want to send people the most relevant type of content for them with where they're at in their journey. Let me rephrase that a little bit. For example, if I am talking to maybe a social media audience, maybe I've created a little piece of content that I want to share on my social media. Maybe I've got 10 followers, maybe I've got 1 million. But if it's the first piece of content I'm sharing about Oliabo, I'm probably not going to try to send them immediately to, I mean, it depends on the audience, right? You got to know your audience. But typically in that situation, I would probably share like a video or me talking about my experience with the products in a very compliant, safe way. And then maybe the next video, maybe then I would drop a product link in there. But it's all about understanding your audience, whether the individual or the group you're talking to, and where they're at in their journey and what they're ready for. So for example, like what Adam's talking about, let's say I'm talking to my neighbor, for example, and I've told my neighbor all about Oliabo. I've even shared some Flex with my neighbor, and they're like, wow, that actually really helped me. Um, and so I would love to buy Flex. Like, if it's clear that somebody wants to buy something, the closer you can get them in the process to the shopping cart and checking out, the less friction there is, the easier it is for them to buy, the more likely they are to finish that and make the purchase. So if you come into the mobile app, here's where you start. You want to come all the way over to the right in the bottom, this shopping bag, come in here. Let me take this out of my cart. I was testing something earlier. So in this scenario where my neighbor wants to buy Flex, I can buy products through the shopping cart myself in the mobile app, or I can do this. So let's say I want to create a shareable cart. I would click on Flex. Of course, hold on. I gotta relaunch this. The sharing window is frozen because of how I'm sharing from my mobile device to the computer. Hold on a sec. Apologies. Got to relaunch this. Adam, while I'm relaunching this, are there any other questions you can?
Yeah, let me take a look here. A reminder, if you have questions, put them in the Q&A section. When they go into the chat, a lot of times they get lost.
Okay, I'm back here. If you find any, let me know. But I mean, there are some, but if there's anything you want to touch on quick, let me know. But otherwise, let me jump back into this. So again, you start out opening the app on the home page, you go to the shop. This is where you can buy your own product, add additional subscriptions through here. But in this scenario, I'm going to click on this Flex. I'm going to add it to cart. Now you can choose, like, do they want to subscribe? Do they want to buy it once? What do they want to do? You can select that. They just want to try it out, so they want to buy it once. So I put add to cart. Now, if they're right there with me, then I might just send this to them right then and there, or let's say it's happened later. Either way, add it to cart, open your cart. Now you see proceed to checkout. If I do that, that would be what I would do if I was buying this for myself, right? Share cart is what I want to click if I want to get a link to then share with somebody else for them to see this cart and check out. So when I click share cart, it'll open up a little menu option here. I can either share it with my contacts right there, or I can just copy this. And when I copy that link, now I can send that link in a text, in an email. I could share that on social media. However I want to share that link, I can share it. And that link is now tied to this shopping cart with Flex in it and tied to me as the brand rep. So let me show you what would happen. Here, let me figure out how to get the browser to pull up here. Oops. So, sorry, let me get my mobile browser open and then I can show you. Okay, so now let's pretend that I've texted that to my neighbor and I'm like, hey, this is that Flex product. Go ahead and you can just purchase it right here. So when they click on that link, this link is all encoded to me, right? Because I got it from my account. So when they click on that link, this is what they will see. It will take them directly to the checkout page. So they can see it's Flex. If they've got Apple Pay, PayPal, any of these, they can just click a couple times, and if they're already logged in, like 2 clicks, and they're checked out. Otherwise, they can enter their email address, phone number, shipping info, their payment method, and then pay now, and they're completed and they're checked out and they're a customer of yours. So that's what Adam was talking about. That's shareable cart links. And you do that through the mobile app. It's a really powerful way to get somebody right to the point of purchase. I'm going to jump back over into the desktop Oliabo Studio portal. So here I'm back on the home page. A couple other things to note. There's some featured content here that will change from time to time, different videos. This is a link to the VIA summer promotion PDF. So this is, I would just, a quick plug for this. Any of you who are working towards any of these rank advancements, Kappa, Quinto, Venti, This is an incredible promotion we have going on for the summer months. So please, I would highly recommend you getting familiar with this and ranking up by building your business and getting the support that you need to help you do so, because there's some great bonuses that are built into this. So we'll highlight different content. There's tutorials that are highlighted here on the homepage, quick links to the shop or to resources. The calendar here, this calendar, we're continually updating with events that are happening. Webinars, in-person events. We're also starting to add not just corporate events, but also different events that are happening, webinars and in-person events that are happening through different field leaders throughout the world as well. So when you see a dot, that means there's an event on that day. So if you click that, you can then see that event information. You can then copy this, copy the link, copy the information, share it with other people, and that's how you can keep up with the latest on the events. There's also a to-do list here if you want to create follow-ups on things like Spartacus is one of my pretend contacts that I have that I've added, and Spartacus has expressed interest in a couple different products, so I've added some follow-up messages for myself here to remind me of some follow-up to-dos that I need to do to help move Spartacus through the next phase of his journey. Some highlighted content here, the compensation plan, and then again, contact info. Let's dive a little bit into my business. My business is where the details of commission reporting and dashboard of what's happening with your business and your rank advancement is happening. So I'll touch on a few things here. But one thing to note is that in my business, you've got this submenu here. So my business, and then it opens this submenu. When you click on dashboard, it'll show you kind of a snapshot of some key metrics and things that are showing what's happening in your business right now. This widget here shows what you've earned over the lifetime of your account. There might be a slight difference between what's been earned and what's been paid because there's a few days between when we issue a commission payment, it's earned, but then a couple days later, it gets pushed and paid into your account. So if you ever think there's a discrepancy of a few dollars here or there, that's probably why. This shows whatever your last payment was. This is my test account, so I don't have any recent payments or last payments. The other thing here to look at, so rank advancement, this is a little widget that shows you the 4 main qualifications for rank advancement in a given month. Now, it defaults to whatever your next rank is that you're working towards, because this last one, you can click through and you can click from one to the next. Because I've already qualified as a Kappa, I've already qualified as a Quinto for this current month time period, it just sends me right to focus in on my next rank qualification target, which is Venti. People always want to know, how do I go from a brand rep to a Premio and beyond, like really fast? And I get it. We all want to move fast. We want to build our business fast. But the reality is the best way to go from here to there is one step at a time. So this rank advancement widget is all about helping you focus in on the next rank advancement because that's your step. And it shows you the steps that it takes to get there. One step at a time, one new contact at a time, one new customer at a time, one new brand rep enrollment at a time. That's how you move up and level up from day to day, from week to week, month to month. So focus on the rank advancements. There's 4 main rank advancements within the Premio Pay compensation plan. The first is your own personal volume for the given month, your purchases. The second is your personally sponsored, those that you've introduced, a customer or a brand rep who have at least 100 QV in qualifying purchases for the month. Down here, this next one is your total overall volume in your organization, all the order volume within your organization. Each rank has a certain level that needs to meet. And then your team qualification. Teams are essentially, you've got the people that are on your direct front line or first level, and the teams are the organization that's building out from each of those team leaders. So this gives you a quick snapshot of where you're at on your current focus and target rank advancement. The business snapshot, here you can click and dig into the details in a report that I'll give you a quick view of in a minute. The business snapshot section, these are all key metrics about your business and what's happening in your business. You can click on any one of these to see exactly what that is about, right? It'll give you a description of that. So PQV, personal volume, that's your orders for the given month. Sprint level 2 qualified, that tells you whether or not you're going to earn the Sprint level 2 commission, which is a 10% bonus on the Sprint part of our pay plan. So that tells you a green check says, yep, you've got the qualification there. A red X means nope, you don't. But if you click on that, you can see what that means and how to make sure you're qualified. Total group volume, that's just all orders from everyone in your group, including your own volume, all customer orders, brand rep orders, all of that. Sponsored with 100 QV, that's your personally sponsored and enrolled customers and brand reps that have made an order in the month. This is the total number of people that you've sponsored in a given month, or not given month, over all time. So all the people that are your personal enrollment or personal sponsor, that's your total number of people, regardless of where they're placed or when that enrollment happened. This is the new members that have come into your organization as a whole in the given month, not just the ones that you've enrolled, but customers, brand reps that have been enrolled by you, by other people within your organization. So this tells you kind of how healthy and how much growth is happening in the current month across your organization. This is the total members in your organization as a whole. So I just created this account this month to build as a demo account. So that's why these numbers match, because the total new members and the total members, it's the same because they all came in this month. But this would show all members, customers, and brand reps, regardless of any volume, that are in your organization as a whole. So there's some different things to think about here. So this can tell you, if you've got a lot of people here and not, very many coming in a given month, that might tell you that you probably need to start figuring out how to help your growth continue on. There's just some other things here, like if you've got 9, like if I had 9 personally sponsored, for example, but this number is at 0 or 1, I might want to start talking to those people that I personally sponsored to see why they haven't made an order. So these are all just quick little visuals to allow you to get a brief snapshot of the health of your business. Here's some other things to look at. These are recent orders, so the last like 10 or 15 orders that have come in through your organization, not just your direct sponsors, but anywhere in your organization. It tells you, was it a free enrollment? What level were they on to you? Was it a purchase? What was it, right? This tells you the new members that are coming in, customers or brand reps. So quick snapshots on all of this. If you then look at your wallet section, this is where you could look at commission history, commission details, if you've earned any commissions, and see exactly how those are how you've been earning those commissions. So it tells you kind of each line item that earned you a commission in the current period. You could look at previous periods, and it'll show you exactly what order came in and what your earnings were and why. You can also look at the details of those business snapshot pieces on more of a report that shows the month to month. And all of the reports that look like this, you're going to see them here and these commission details. It's important to understand you can grab, like I'm grabbing this with my mouse. I'm clicking on it and I can drag it so I can change the order of these around. I can also, this little column indicator here, I can grab that and I can expand the column. So if I want to see what is this hiding here, I can grab that and expand that out. So you can adjust those. You can also, at the top of each column, you can search. So if you're looking for a specific, like a specific ID or a specific person or whatever it might be, you can search at the top of each of these. Pay quicker, this is where, this is the solution that we use for paying out your commissions. And so this is where you would go to access that. If it's important to note, if you have not been paid a commission by us yet, then you won't have, we will not have issued you a Pay Quicker account yet. When you receive your first commission, you'll get an email that invites you to create an account or connect an existing Pay Quicker account if you already have one from a previous experience. If you think that you should already have received that, but you haven't received that, please reach out to support so that we can make sure that we get you connected in there. When we pay out a commission, we send it to Pay Quicker, which is an independent third-party payment system and solution. It's kind of like a bank. And so when you go there and log in there, we don't have any access to those funds. You can then choose to use them from PayQuicker, they give you a virtual card, or you can get a physical card. You can use that to make purchases either from us or anywhere else, or you can choose to have those funds then pushed into your actual bank account as well. From there, they can be transferred. My network. So this is where you'd see the visual representation of your organization. It shows only these 2 levels at a time so that it doesn't bog down your computer. If it's showing, just 10 at a time, that's fine. But if it's showing hundreds or thousands, it might slow down your device. So we limit it to the 2 that it's showing, and then you can drill down by clicking into each of these. So you could click into one, it'll then put them at the top and show who's in their organization. Hovering over any one of these will then show you specific information about that person. So their ID number, their username, their highest rank, whether they're a brand rep or a customer, all of these personal QV, total group QV, sponsored, all of those metrics down at the bottom, those are all related to the current month time period. So it gives you a quick snapshot on how that specific member, whether it's a customer or a brand rep, is doing, and allows you to then kind of drill down and see if there's information that you need, or maybe that helps you identify people you want to reach out to try to help or support. You can search for, if you've got a large organization and you don't want to try to drill down through clicking around all of this, you can use this and search by name or ID number, and it'll find that person for you. So for example, if I put in Tony and click search, I can then click on Tony, and it will then pull them up right there. Another thing to identify here, this waiting room is important to understand. The waiting room, which has instructions down here on what it is and how it works. The waiting room, anyone that enrolls with you, so a customer or a brand rep, they sit in this waiting room for 60 days. They'll be placed on your front line when they first sign up, but you have 60 days to come in here to the waiting room, and you can move them and place them underneath somebody else within your organization. So the way that you would do that is you would select who you wanted to move, and then it says, hey, now select who you want to move them under. Let's say Wanda and Tony, let's say they live in the same country or region or state, or maybe they both work in very similar ways. And so I feel like, Tony might be a good mentor for Wanda, whatever it might be, or vice versa, right? And then I would click on Tony, and then I'll say, are you sure you want to move this person under this other person? When you click OK, it then will make that move. You can only do that once. Once you move somebody once, it moves them out of the waiting room. And after 60 days, they will automatically be moved out of the waiting room if they haven't been moved, and they will just stay on your front line or your first level. Here's a little key down here that tells you a little bit about what each of these symbols means and the colors. Reports, this is where you can see some reports. We'll continually be adding and refining these and adding additional reports. Reports like orders, the orders report shows in a monthly view. So it shows you all the orders that have come into your organization within the current month or previous months if you select those. So you can then, as I mentioned before, you can move these columns around if you want to change the order of how these are set up. You can expand these columns if you need to see the information more clearly. You can search in each of these if you want to see information related to something specific to that column. Like I want to see all the orders that have come in from somebody that was sponsored by Peter Parker. So I can search that. So that gives you a good idea of all that. You can also see the type, like are they a brand rep or are they a customer? So that shows you all the different orders that are coming into your organization. The rank qualification report. So this is the one that links from the dashboard here, the details. When you click on details, it links you to the rank qualification report. I'm not going to go into detail on this. I'm going to create I'm planning on creating a tutorial that goes in depth on what this is and how to use it. As with anything in Oliabo Studio, there's all sorts of detail and depth and things that you can do with it, but it can be as simple or as detailed and complex as you want it to be. So if all these detailed reports is like, you know what, I don't need that to do my magic and to do what I do, remember, you can always just come back in here, just share your link, share your enroll link, and it can be that simple. Or as I mentioned before, give them your ID, give them our phone number, have them call in, and we'll take care of it. So when you're seeing all of these different things, don't feel like, oh man, I can't do this. You don't have to do it. If that's not for you, don't worry about it. Use what's for you. So play around with the rank qualification report. I'm not going to spend much time on it, but this 0 is you. And then it shows you all your frontline first level people here. You can then drill down all the way down into your organization, level 2, level 3, level 4, as much depth as you have in your organization under any given person, you can drill down into. It gives you a snapshot of where they're at, what their previous highest rank was, where they're currently targeting as far as where they're landing in the current month for their paid rank, how close they are to the next rank, what personal volume they've got for this current month, the total volume they have in their organization. So in my total organization, I've got 5,000, but then I can drill down and I can see, okay, Tony Stark has 2,000 in volume. Peter Parker has 1,000. I can drill in and see what's going on there. So this allows you to drill down in and see who might be struggling, where you might be able to help out. It really can help you understand a lot about what's happening within your organization and how you can help people level up, which then helps you level up. Let's get into shareables. So shareables here is where we've got all sorts of different content that you can share through a link via text, email, social media with your audience, individuals, groups, anywhere you want. And every link in here has its own unique code identifier at the end that is connected to you. Now, each of the different pieces of content will have a different piece of code because not only is that code and that link structured to tie to you, but it's also tying to that specific piece of content. So the way that this works is that you just go find the piece of content you want to share. Do you want to share a testimonial? Do you think a testimonial from Ray Heron, the great Ray Heron, do you think that that's going to really help that person move into the opportunity if you're sharing this with a brand rep? You can watch this yourself and see what it's like. You can unmute it here. If that's for you and you think that that's the right thing to share with somebody, then you would come in here, you would click this link, it then copies that, and then you can send that in a text, send it in an email. You could click on Facebook or Instagram, and it'll then launch that platform for you to log into, and then you could share it through Messenger or on a post, however you want to do it. But that link, because of this code, is now tied to this piece of content and tied to you as the brand rep. So anybody that clicks it, they'll watch this video, they'll be on the website and have a chance to then come and enroll, because this is a specific opportunity piece of content, right? So I'm in the opportunity shareables. So all of these opportunity shareables, these compensation plan videos, all these images, all the Oliabo effects that are in here, these are all going to link somebody into the join experience. So they're shareables that you would share with somebody that you think is a good prospect for a brand rep, somebody who might want to build an income with Oliabo. Other ones you can share, if you've got people that are more interested in being a customer, you come in to hear some of the products, right? If somebody wants to learn more about Prima, Viso, Flex, Evo, right? You can come into these shareables, share a video with them, share some imagery with them, share some testimonials. If they're ready to buy and you don't want to go into the app and build a cart, you can just click on one of these up here, and these will have a link that you can share that will send them directly into the purchase experience. So if I click share that link and they click on that link in a text message or in an email, it'll take them to that bundle, and then they can just add it to cart and check out, or they can learn more. They can watch some of the product videos that are related to that bundle. They can read up on it. They can see some other information about it. So as I mentioned before, it's all about trying to identify where your audience is in their journey. Are they all about wellness? Or are they looking for an opportunity? Are they ready to buy? Do they need more information? And so all of these shareables are geared towards giving you the tools to be able to share the Oliabo opportunity, the Oliabo products in a way that connects with your audience. So understanding your audience, the individuals, the groups, your social media, if you're doing that, understanding your audience is key to then knowing which content to share and when. The shop, this is where you can go and you can purchase products. So if you'd like to purchase products, add new subscriptions onto your existing account, this is where you can do that. So you just go to the shop section right here, and you can see all the different bundles. You can see the VIP opportunity here. When you click in, you can add it to cart. You can add it as a subscription or a one-time purchase, and just go through the regular checkout process that way. My orders, this is where you can see your order history. So when you go to my orders, you can see your order history. You can also see your subscriptions and manage your subscriptions. Something that is something to note right now. Right now, you can't see the tracking information. There's a problem right now where the tracking information isn't showing up. So we're working on fixing that right now. Apologies for that, but we're working on getting that fixed as quickly as we can so that tracking information would show here, where you could then click through and see where your order is at. So be aware of that. The subscriptions, so this is where you can come in and you can see any current subscriptions. To add a new subscription, you would go into the shop and decide what you wanted to add on as a subscription, and you would go out or go through the checkout process that way. Someone brought up to me today that they were hoping that we could add a way where you could just add a subscription in this section where you could then align it with a future subscription, and then you would be billed at that time. So we're working on that. That's something that is being worked on. So right now, if you wanted to do that, like let's say I wanted to add a Flex product to come at this same date as this. Right now, I would have to wait until that date and then just put myself a reminder to add Flex and check out with Flex on that date, and then it would automatically bundle those two together. Any of these that are set to be on the same day from the same payment method and going to the same address are automatically bundled and shipped out together. But by having them separate like this, I can then change the date. Like let's say I want to have one come at one time, one come at another. I can change those dates. Or for me, I like to have them bundled together. So what I would do if I was noticing, oh wait, I've got two different bill dates on here, that's when they're going to run, and that means they're going to ship separately. I want to actually receive them together. I would click this bundle button here. When I click this bundle button, it allows me to then put these two together. I can then go next. I can say, okay, I want them to come to me either earlier, or I want to keep these in July, but I want them to come on July 12th. And I want them to come to, actually, I want them to come to this other address. And I want to, you know what? I want to change the payment method. So you can do all of that. And then when you click create bundle, it will then update these both at the same time. It'll change the date and the address and all that information on them. The other option you have here is that if you want to edit any of these individually, you can click into them here. You could then skip the next order. You could change the bill date. Like let's say I've run out of Viso Lux and I actually don't want to wait until July 16th. I want to just have this run now. I could go and I could do a one-time order if I wanted to go into the shop and do a one-time order of Viso Lux, or I could just come in here to the subscription. I could edit the bill date and I could change the bill date to be tomorrow. Tomorrow. And then if I hit save, it will then update my next bill date to tomorrow. And so the subscription will run tomorrow and ship out tomorrow. So that's how you can manage your subscriptions. You can also pause or cancel from here as well. This is also where you can change the address. So let's say I'm going to be going out of town for a couple months. Maybe I'm going to go, maybe I'm a snowbird and I'm going to go spend winter down in Arizona or some other warm place. Then I could change my address here to that other place for that time period. Same with payment methods. I can change payment methods, add a new payment method for this subscription. If you want to manage your payment methods and address information on the account as a whole, you would come to this account settings area. And here in the account settings, you can adjust your payment method. You can add a new payment method. You can change the default payment method. So whichever payment method you have set as your default is the one that will just automatically get used on any new order you make, unless you set that order with a different payment method. This is also where you can manage or add or delete addresses as well. Also, for those that want to have their username be something specific, when you first create an account, it just is an alphanumeric code number. But if you want to have your username be something specific, then you would come here to account settings, edit link. You would then type in what you wanted your username to be and click save. If you click save and get an error, that means that username, you've either got spaces or characters that don't work, or that username is more than likely already taken. Otherwise, it'll save and update. Let's see here, contacts. So contacts, you can add contacts here. I would suggest adding contacts that are potential customers, potential brand rep prospects, as well as team members, so that you can do things like you can create groups of people. So like I've got a couple people on my team Tornado, so these are team members of mine, let's say, and that way I can keep track or I can message them about different things. But by having contacts in Oliabo Studio, so first of all, we don't do anything with those contacts. We don't message them unless you do so through Oliabo Studio, and we message them on your behalf, the thing that you want sent. But we don't mess with your contacts. They're secure and safe, both in the computer version and on the mobile app. But here's like for team members, for example. So let's say Adam is on my team, and I've been working with Adam on a goal of being a Kappa by the end of June, because we've got that via promotion, and Adam's really wanting to work towards being a Kappa by the end of June. I put that note in there to remind me to help him with different steps to get to Kappa. And so whenever I'm talking to Adam, I've always got that note to remind me, oh yeah, where are you at on those goals? I might write other more specific things, like he was going to make 5 contacts this week. He was going to share this many pieces of content, whatever it might be. I would note those things down. So contacts are a really powerful way to keep track of prospects and helping them progress, and team members. In the mobile app, which I'm going to get into in a minute here, there's some other really unique things you can do within the mobile app that facilitates even more contact functionality. Resources, this is where you can go for your own learning and edification. This also links you out to the different shareable content things as well. So you can get to the shareables here, or in the resources, you've got link outs to all the shareable content here. Also within the resources are links to our Google Drive that we share with you that has all sorts of education and training. The webinar recordings from these kinds of calls are there as well. Information on like the promotions and contests, like the VIA promotion, you can access that there. The webinars and trainings, like I said here, right? So like these Oliabo Studio training webinars, we're recording those and we're adding them here. So if you want to go back and scroll through these and watch these, or find a piece of information there, you can. So resources, these link out here. You've also got resource information here on the compensation plan, tutorials on how to use different aspects of Oliabo Studio. These are all videos. We'll continually be adding more as well. So that's the resources. App download, this is where you can go and you can scan this to with your mobile device to get the app download. But if all of you did what I said, you should already have the app, because that was your homework at the beginning of this call. But that's how you get it if you don't yet. Yeah, so let's see. Are there any, Adam, are there any specific questions that I should touch on while I'm here before I jump over into the app?
Is there a way to print invoices? And if not, is that something that we can get?
That is a good question. I'm not sure.
I don't think
So
we have a way to print the invoice itself, but my response on this would be, if somebody wants an invoice, you can actually just take this screen that you're looking at here and print it, or take a screenshot of just the section that you want. So if you don't
I
know
would
how to do
suggest doing this. Yeah, it depends on how you want to do it, but I would suggest doing this. So every browser has the ability to go file and then print. And so if I do that, it will then create the invoice for me. If there's other information you need to see on here, we can work on that, but that would be what I would do, you can either then print that out or you can save it as a PDF.
Perfect.
So
Um,
one thing
we
to note, just while you're looking at some of the other questions, thank you so much for your time. I know we're already coming up on an hour. The time goes by so fast because there's so much to share within Studio. We're gonna stay on the line and go over the mobile app as well in more depth. So if you can stay on, by all means do. Otherwise, we'll have this, as I mentioned, in the resources within the webinars. We'll have these recordings up where you can rewatch them here or share them with others.
And for those of you who may have run out of time today and we didn't get through the mobile app completely, Curtis, I think you'd be okay with this. Tomorrow we're going to do the same call at 2 o'clock. It'll be our last one for this week. But maybe we start tomorrow's call with
Yeah,
the app and then
let's
go.
do that. Yeah, let's flip it. And tomorrow we'll go through the app in depth and then we'll just touch on some highlights of Portal. Yeah, we'll switch it around. That's a great idea. Thank you.
Okay, as far as
So what there's one question. So there's a question that somebody has about there's some of you that help customers or brand reps manage their accounts. I meant to touch on this earlier. I apologize for not getting to this earlier. So for those of you that help other people manage their account, whether it's a customer or a brand rep, there's a solution for that. And because that's not necessarily something that everybody does, but it's specific to some people, please reach out to support and we can show you how to do that. There's a solution for that, and there's several people that are using that now. And so know that there's a solution and we can connect you with that and walk you through that. So reach out to support if you're looking for that kind of solution or help, and we can show you that. Okay. Um,
So Derek Payne asks, if a customer decides to become a brand rep, do they automatically stay on the front line or can they be moved? If somebody is is upgrading their account from a customer to a brand rep, they're going to automatically stay in the same position that they're in. If they're still within that 60-day time frame where Curtis showed you guys how to go into the waiting room and move their placement, if they're still within that 60-day time frame, you'll still be able to do that as well. But they can easily upgrade their account by logging in to the portal, and there is a button. Curtis, do you want to show that?
I don't know if I have a customer account. Do you?
I could create one real quick.
I might. Let me go try to find one real quick.
Um, Anyways, it's very simple. There's a button that's within the portal that you can actually click on, and it's towards the bottom. But I think it says, "Are you interested in learning more about becoming a brand rep or something along those lines?" Once you click on it, it takes you through the process of changing your account over from a customer to a brand rep. But likewise, you can always contact support, and our support team can do that for you.
Yeah, that's the easiest way. There is a way, like a customer, when a customer sees their account, they have a limited view of just their orders and a few videos and some things on the homepage and their account settings. And there's a big button here that says become a brand rep. And they click on that and it'll take them through the process of enrolling. But if they just call customer support can just flip the switch and help their account transition into that.
One key thing to note on customer support, we are looking at expanding our customer support too. Somebody put into the chat that they've been waiting on a response from customer support. So right now we're looking at expanding customer support. With our switch over to Oliabo Studio, we have had more of an influx of things that are coming into customer support. But that's great, right? That means that you guys are out there, you're navigating the new Oliabo Studio and you're coming up with questions. We're here to help you with those questions. So all of the stuff that comes into support, we do respond to within a 24-hour time frame. If you want to call in, you can get a hold of somebody between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. If you happen to get the voicemail, that means that our agents are currently on the phone with somebody, but they are calling people back as soon as they get off the phone. So, just important to note that our support team is here to help you through all of your Oliabo Studio needs.
Yeah, and also I've noticed so there's one comment that says customer support hasn't been replying. So that would so if you're experiencing that, then it's either that we're not receiving your messages or that you're not receiving ours. Because like I can look at like right now I'm looking at the support tickets and all of that stuff, and we usually respond on an email. We respond with like during the week, it's like usually within 24 hours or so. If it's coming in from a weekend, like on a Monday, right? We've had Saturday and Sunday build up, so it can take 24 to 48 hours. So that obviously is going to take a little bit more time because of building up from that. So if you're not getting a response from customer support, definitely like call us, leave a message, do something because there must be something going on, spam or something else that's happening where you're not getting our responses. So please definitely um, reach out via, I would say give us a call or use the chat, and that way it's coming directly to us as opposed to if you're trying to send an email and something's not getting through to us, or it's more likely that our emails may not be getting through to you for some reason. But yeah, that's not normal. So please let us know. I'm sorry that you have experienced that. Let me jump into the mobile app a little bit, and then um, what I might do for those that want to stick around, we can maybe explain a little bit about how you can help your customers and brand reps. We could go into that a little bit since there's some people that are looking for that help right now. So let me change my share to the mobile app, and I'll just briefly do some of the mobile app because we'll go in depth on this tomorrow. And then those of you that can make it tomorrow, excellent. If you can't, we'll have that recording that you can watch. So let me get my share settings set up here. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, there's two main navigation areas to keep in mind. This lower navigation area, which takes you to each of the main sections of the app. You got the home section, the shareable section, which is where all that great content is for you to grab a link and share that piece of content, whether it's a video or an image or a PDF with people. You've got your contacts section here. This is where you can add contacts. And within the mobile app, you can either add them individually, or when you click to add, it'll ask if you want to import them from your mobile device, either as small groups, or if you want to import all your contacts, you can do that. You can delete your contacts. You control your contacts. We don't do anything with your contacts. The other main section is this shop section. And then a reminder at the top of each of these sections is this section up here that's scrollable right to left that has different tabs with different information for that specific section. So the home section, there's a few things to highlight. This daily summary. So home section, home tab, the daily summary. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Before I get into that, on the home page, home tab, clicking this little icon here. So this is my image. If there's no image there, it'll just be kind of a circle there. Clicking that is where you can manage your profile, where you can manage, like if you wanted to add an image there, you can click on profile. You can then edit your image. You can change your contact information here. Here you can manage under account, you can manage your payment methods and your shipping addresses here. And then, yeah, this is just where you can kind of manage all your general account information. The other areas of the homepage, as I mentioned at the beginning, at the very bottom of the homepage, just like on the desktop version of Studio, this is where you can connect with Oliabo support. At the top here, this little thing called Daily Summary, this is an AI insight widget. So this is our AI tool that's essentially looking at what's been happening in your business and giving you a quick little snapshot summary in one paragraph of what's been happening. So mine, it says, you've shared 2 contacts with smart links recently. No orders have been placed yet. Consider reaching out for a quick follow-up to potentially boost engagement. So it tells you, it gives you a reminder of things that you've done. It tells you if anybody's been interacting. It tells you if there's been any purchases or if people have been viewing anything, and gives you a little bit of a tip on like, hey, maybe follow up, maybe do this. As you scroll down, we've got some different content we highlight, all the different tutorials that are videos on how to navigate and do different things within Oliabo Studio. I would highly recommend going through and watching these, right? These are at your fingertips, and we'll continually be refining and creating more of these. But this is how to do important things within Studio. So I would suggest watching these, sharing them with your other members of your team so that they watch them. Resources will link you to the resources tab. Again, that's that same place where that's those link outs to the Google Drive and other shared content so that you can have more education and access to these webinar recordings, promotional information for like VIA and other promotions we do, presentation decks if you're doing presentations. Continuing down the homepage, you've got some other highlighted content. Catch-ups. So catch-ups and recent activity are other AI insight tools. So catch-ups, each of these you can click into and it'll show you more detail of all the different things going on. When you click on catch-ups will show you, well, sorry, let me go back. So this is saying I've got 11 things that it's saying I need to catch up on. So this will show me anything from like new content that I haven't interacted with or seen before. It'll show me things like, hey, follow up with Adam. Adam's done something, or you've shared something with him. We suggest following up. It'll show you all these different things to catch up on. So like this one, for example, hey, here's some new content that Oliabo has shared. Maybe something you want to consider sharing with somebody or viewing for your own benefit. Now I can choose to skip it and it'll show up later again. It'll stay in my catch-ups. So if it's something I want to take a look at later, I'll click skip it. If it's something that I don't want to see, I'm like, cool, saw it. That's great. I did it. I can mark as complete. Or I can swipe right, swipe left. It'll either complete it or it'll snooze it. This is an example of a catch-up that's a follow-up. So this is saying, hey, like your contact did something or you shared something, but an order hasn't been placed yet. Consider following up. So it's giving you a reminder and helping you to decide on what to do. You could either send them a message, or you could give them a call, or if it's your neighbor, go knock on their door, whatever it might be, right? So this is a way that this tool, Studio, can keep these kind of things constantly in front of you. Follow up with Peter. Hey, Peter's a contact that interacted with some content. Follow up with him. So those are catch-ups. Recent activity is a little bit more detail on certain things. So recent activity can show you specifics on what somebody did or more generic stuff. I'm going to click on this button so I can show you all the different things that are in the recent activity. This is recent activity of people interacting and engaging with my links or my content that I've shared out. If it's not showing a specific name, then that means it's just one of my links that I've shared. I haven't shared it with a specific contact through the app, which I'll show you in a moment here. So as you scroll through, it just shows you kind of what's happening, a general view of all the different things that are happening and what people are doing with your links that you're sharing. If you've shared the contact if you've shared a link with a specific contact, it'll give you a specific piece of information. So I just clicked into this contact, Adam Blake. And because of the way that I've shared content or shared a link with Adam, which I'll show you how to do, it showed me very specific information on his interactions, what he viewed, how he added something to the cart. So that's a really detailed way of seeing information. The way that you would do that, I'll show you in a moment, and then we will move on to some of that other stuff that we want to do. So if you add a contact to the app, then when you share a piece of content, like let's say I want to share, if I click this share button when I'm sharing a piece of content with somebody, if I then scroll down, oh, of course, this is not working for me here. Hold on a sec. Not working because I'm screen sharing, and so it's getting frozen. There we go. So these, when I click that share button and then I scroll down, if I share a piece of content like this with a contact I put into the app, then the link that gets shared gets encoded specifically to that contact. And when they interact with it, that's how I can then see the specifics of their interaction.
So Curtis, click on me and I'll go in and interact with it.
The screen share is freezing up, so it's giving me a problem here. Because I'm sharing from my mobile device that's sitting on my desk to the computer, and it's giving me a hard time.
Gotcha.
Well, we'll get into that more tomorrow, because that's giving me a hard time now. Apologies. So for those that want to learn a little bit more specifically about how to help other people manage an account. So let's say you've got somebody that either doesn't use technology for some reason, or they've asked you to specifically help them manage their account. That's between you and them, and you need to make sure that you're doing that responsibly. But the way that you can do that is they can either, when you go, let me share my screen again here. So I'm going to log out here. So let's say that you have a customer or a brand rep that you help manage their account, and that you have that relationship and that agreement together. There's a couple different options that you have. So the first is that if they have access to email, when they submit their email address, or if they ask you to submit it for them, then they just would go and open up their email, and they could then give you that code. You can say, okay, your email's been submitted. Go to your email, and what is the code? And then they could come to their email and they could say, oh, my code is 058603. So you enter that code in on your computer, and then it would allow you to, oh, did I type it in wrong? I've been doing too many of these, so I might have opened up the wrong email. Hold on a second. Oh, I did open up the wrong email. Hold on. I opened up an old code. So essentially, they're giving you the code is what's happening, right? And again, that's between you and them, and you need to make sure that if somebody wants you to manage their account, they can choose to do that, right? But that's between you and them. So they would give you the code, you would then type it in, and then you could then help them manage their account, either in person or remotely. And so then you would come in here and do whatever they had asked you to do, whether that's to make a purchase or to share their links or help them get their links to share, however that might be. The other option is that if they don't access, so to be clear, you will always need a code. And so you can either get that code from them, or if they don't manage their accounts, you do all of it for them. They ask you, and it's very, very clear that they have asked you because they can't do it, or they don't do it. They either don't use technology, or they can't because of a physical limitation or something like that. Then the way that you do that is you would then reach out to support, and we can then help you create an email address that will always send those codes to you. So there's a way that you can do that. So let me show you here. So you see how, let me do it with my email address so you can see. So Gmail has a specific way that it works. So you see when I'm doing this, and this email address, you see this? Curtis plus test-account@gmail.com. My regular email address is curtis@gmail.com, right? So my regular Gmail, my personal Gmail is curtis@gmail.com. So watch closely here. So Gmail and other systems are starting to adopt this as well. When you add a plus and then anything else after that, Gmail, so any system that you add that into will think that that's a unique email address. But Gmail When an email gets sent to curtis+test-account@gmail.com, guess where that email actually gets sent to? It gets sent to me at curtis@gmail.com. So if you're truly managing somebody else's account, you can create the accounts in this way. I wouldn't necessarily do it as test account. I would do something that was more specific to their account, right? That would help me know who they were. John Doe, whatever, right? Whatever you put there to help you identify who they are. You don't have to, like, to be clear, you don't have to go to Gmail and set up a new account for them or do anything like that in Gmail. This just works. I could write anything. I could make up anything that I wanted right here. I could say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and because it's connected to my existing email by doing the plus at Gmail, it will automatically send those emails to me at curtis@gmail.com. That's how Gmail functions naturally. And so if you have accounts that you're helping someone manage, and it's that kind of a relationship that is between you two, then you can create those email addresses that way to create their accounts. Or if they already have an existing account that you need help or they need help changing that email address, reach out to support and we can help that email address get changed to something that'll function more like that. So I hope that helps solve those kind of problems for you. I mean, I know that it can, but I hope that's clear enough to help you understand. We have several people that are using that solution, that specific solution, because they are helping different people that either have physical limitations or other things. So if you need more specifics or clarity on that, please reach out. We can walk you through that individually as needed. So please reach out and we'll help you with that.
Just as an
So
example, I was on with somebody last night on a Zoom call and I had them walk through it step by step. And literally, they got so excited because they were able to help out one of their customers by using the plus in the email. That email went to them instantaneously. They were able to go get the code. They were able to log into that customer's account to help them. So it's definitely something that you can utilize if you need to help someone with an account. We have someone who says that they have a customer who is blind and can't get the access to those codes. That's a perfect way for you guys to be able to go in and manage that account for them.
Yep. Yep. That's a great use case. Yeah. Somebody that either doesn't use technology or can't from a physical limitation or other things. I know that we have some people that work with some in the Amish community and if they're not using technology, then how are they going to be able to do any of this? So this would be a way that can be done as well. And the question came in, so if I'm helping someone like this, how long does it take to get the email address updated? Reach out and like for this person who's asking these questions right now, if you send an email in the next 5 to 10 minutes, I will personally go over to support right now and I will have them look for that and it'll be changed within a few minutes. Okay. No, it only goes to one party. So the question is, does that email go to both parties? You could set, this is a little more in depth. You could set in your Gmail settings, you could set a filter that says, anytime an email comes from Curtis, like in my example, Curtis Fulmer plus John Doe at gmail.com, also forward that to their email address if they have an email. But typically, if they've already got an email address, that's not really what this is for. If they've got an email address that they check and that they use, then they can get logged in pretty easy that way. Or if they want to, they could share the code with you that way. So this is typically for those who are not able to, or because of their preferences don't engage with technology. So anyway, hope that all helps. I'm sure it did. If your question did not get answered or you have other questions or things that you'd like to discuss or need help on, by all means, reach out to support either by phone, by email, by chat. And we will be here again tomorrow, same time, 2 p.m. Mountain Time tomorrow. We'll be on and available. We'll dig in deeper to the mobile app tomorrow with more focus. And then starting next week, this will be a once a week call on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Mountain Time weekly. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Real quick before I hang up, there was that question. If you don't have a Gmail account, it's free. I would create a Gmail account. Other email systems work that way too. I don't know which ones though. Gmail started it years ago, and some other systems have adopted it too. So you can also just go to Gmail and create a free account, and it would work for you that way as well. Okay. Thanks, everybody. And that cut bigger than I realized.